Marvel and Hulu, we got over last week the whole Ghost Rider and Hellstrom show. They have trademarked Glyph and Spirits of Vengeance. So if you wanted any more confirmation that this is happening, so to those people last week in the topic video I did for the show saying like, "Oh, this isn't official." Well, here it is.
It's official.
Well, we
I
are.
think
We are getting. I suppose it's Hulu's Defenders, really. If you want to put it that way.
Yeah, but it's gonna have much more. I don't want to. I hate saying connective, tissue to the MCU, but
at this point you kind of have to, especially with Jarvis. It's like you kind of have to say.
Oh yeah, I mean once that was shown, you kind of can't use that excuse anymore.
I was gonna say you've opened like. I mean, to be fair, with Agent Carter, that was produced by Feige. You needed a lot more of a hand in that one, so you can kind of make that excuse for why it was him. But at the same time, it's like you've opened this can of worms now. You ain't closing that.
Yeah. Well, they can't say it's all. I mean, they kind of took the minute that Jarvis showed up and in the end game, it kind of just said, all right, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
But now that comes with you got to come, you've got to not, that cannot be the only time that happens.
No. It's like, Sony, can we get Daredevil in Spider-Man? No. Yeah. I know, obviously Spider-Man 3 is going to be Sinister Six, that's plain as the nose on your face.
Yeah,
at the same, Spider-Man 4 is a thing. No,
at this point, you never know. Like a lot of these actors are all game for being on TV shows now,
which isn't a surprise, really. Look how everything's gone.
But it all comes down to how much money you're gonna give these people to do this. That's how. Always when it comes down to it. If you go, hey Tom Holland, we're gonna give you an extra X amount of dollars to show up on this show, would you do it? And
I feel like Tom Holland would be the one that would do it for the cheapest, just because it's Tom Holland. To be fair, I don't know him personally. I've never interacted with him at all. But he comes across as one of those people that he's just so giddy. He would just do it anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've met him a couple times, and that's definitely he is that person. He's more so into the whole thing than Andrew Garfield was.
Oh yeah.
And but when it comes down to it now, with these Hulu shows, there's there are going to be more mentions. I don't know about.
Is that going to be mentions in the show, or the movie's going to?
Well, I mean, it's gonna.
I assume the movies are going to have to reference something from these shows at some point, apart from Jarvis.
Well, I think at some point it's going to have to be. It's going to be reciprocal.
Because it's could you have a Moon Knight? Because Glyph sets up Moon Knight. She's a monster hunter. Sure. She does eat Egyptian stuff. Yep. So could you do a Moon Knight show and then have Moon Knight in a Spirits of Vengeance show?
Yeah.
And do it that way.
But then you can also have
or even Blade, just throw it out there.
Well, Blade, yeah, that's a.
I assume Blade's a show.
I mean, at this point, you kind of have to when you say Spirits of Vengeance, Blade.
I mean, to be fair, Blade, the recent incarnation, which is 90% of what we have now, really. Apart from Glyph, I don't think Glyph was on the recent one. But...
Well, I mean, the Spirits of Vengeance is basically the Midnight Suns.
Yeah. You can't have something called Midnight Suns. Days.
Well, I think the Midnight Sun, it's an updated version of Midnight Suns, and because what sounds cooler, Spirits of Vengeance or Midnight Suns?
I don't see. I've been thinking about it the last couple of days. I honestly don't know. I really like the name Midnight Suns.
I like it too.
But it's one of those where it's kind of how could you change it to not have the Suns part? Because you obviously you're kind of limiting yourself there. But
yeah. Well, I mean, who's to say that Midnight Suns doesn't exist in this world? It's just.
I mean, true.
It's a different incarnation.
Yeah.
It's a different faction. Yeah. Spirits of Vengeance is just I feel it's like an updated version of the Midnight Suns, but like not to say that that team doesn't exist. It's just
But I mean, it's one of those, like, I think they're both kind of limiting names. Like Spirits of Vengeance just lends itself to like, oh, it's just a Ghost Rider team. Yeah. So obviously he used the Spirit of Vengeance, and then you got like, you know, Midnight Suns obviously is like the Suns part. So at the same time, Spirits of Vengeance kind of is a bit more open. But it's a weird one for me personally. Like I could have gone either way, but I understand why it's Spirits of Vengeance.
Well, I think they went with Midnight Suns is because like it's like pretty much like free advertisement because like Midnight Suns doesn't exist in the comics anymore. Like there's no comic anymore.
True.
Midnight Suns, I mean the Sons of Vengeance, Spirits of Vengeance exists. So like when you see that comic at the rack at the comic book store, they're gonna go, oh yeah, there's a TV show. I think that's
another one that would have been cool was Howling Commandos.
Yeah, I mean, who's to say that's not going to happen?
I mean, true. I say nothing's off the table.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Now, would that be Hulu or Disney Plus?
Hulu for sure. Yeah. Hulu. It's. I mean, you're looking at the characters, and like, I mean, just look at it this way: Hulu is Disney after midnight, or you know,
another Disney reason why Midnight Suns would have worked.
It's very like, you know, what is it called? Man, I can't think of the word. I'll probably think of it after we do it after like it's this, but
like an After Dark sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think anything that is gonna be like TVMA is gonna be on Hulu.
Anything more adult orientated.
Yeah. Like if and when those Netflix shows come back, it's definitely get on Hulu. Now,
because there was talks about an R-rated movie at one point. So it's like
R-rated movie for what? Spirits of Vengeance?
For Marvel in general. So I mean, talking about obviously like Deadpool 3 is probably going to be that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, but you look at that as the movies. I mean, like the movies that they don't have any other like. There's no other like, you know, like company that you can say, all right, like Hulu's. Sorry, he's getting frustrated. Hulu is like the After Dark version of Disney, and that's what it's gonna be. You're gonna see a lot, like you're gonna see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on D+, and then you're gonna see.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm using an example, but
here's me sitting here going like they're going kind of dark. Like, well, haven't they been like TVMA, whatever it is, for like a couple of seasons now?
Yeah, but like, I guess so.
I mean, to be fair, either or Disney Plus or Hulu, like I'm not going to be surprised if it ends up on either of them.
Yeah, I mean, but I think you could get away with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being on D+.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you want to be like, if you want to keep everything in one place, like on the TV show side, I mean, besides the D+ shows, like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that, you could use Hulu as that outlet instead of having to say, hey, if you want to go see the characters in that show that visited that show over there, you're gonna have to go to D+ to see that. I don't know. I mean, it's that stuff is still kind of up in the air, but like, I know for a fact that like the mature stuff is definitely on the Hulu, and I mean,
I think it's like probably one of the things that like everyone kind of figured because you know when you're dealing with Disney, like they're very much like the family friendly stuff. So why would you ever put something like that? I mean, unless they did ever went that route of a mature tier for Disney Plus, which they could have easily.
They actually did talk about that too.
Yeah. That's kind of why I brought it up. I was trying to make myself sound smart. It's like, you know, maybe they did that. No,
yeah. Well, I know for a fact that like the Hulu, they're gonna start international stuff for Hulu is definitely like they're trying to get Hulu international. That's what they're doing.
I assume that's got to happen soon, like around the same time as Disney Plus.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to happen regardless because, like, if you want to see these shows, you don't want to have to deal with another place to say, hey, well, you know, we don't have Hulu over here, but we're gonna have to deal with Sky to
Yeah.
distribute the shows.
Even then, I don't think they could deal with Sky because Sky's Comcast now. So.
Yeah, but you know, like that's what got us. That's what got them in the trouble with Netflix. Is like you didn't have an outlet for those characters, so they went to Netflix and said, hey, you know, we can't put these on, you know, Disney Channel or whatever. And
which
would
is
you like
weird because like you look at Cloak and Dagger's not necessarily on as violent as like a Daredevil show was, but it goes places.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be honest. You might end up seeing those shows in Hulu anyways.
Like, it makes sense, you know. Hulu and Freeform, they both kind of aired each other's shows.
Yeah,
because somehow, for some reason, they're saying they're connected, but there's no connection yet. But...
Yeah, well, I think they're gonna I don't know. This is all like a rollout plan, but you know, like these shows are gonna because ABC doesn't want them. They didn't never wanted any of the shows.
Oh no, that makes sense. No, that makes too much sense.
But going back to the Hulu stuff, I mean, you're gonna see the mature content on that show. So, I mean, the things like Blade, Experience of Vengeance, Moon Knight, it's all going on Hulu.
Give me Man-Thing.
I mean, look, if Swamp Thing's successful, I mean, who's to say they wouldn't even try? I mean,
yeah. After all, Disney and Marvel do copy everything DC does.
It's true.
Even the stuff that DC doesn't put out, they still copy it somehow. Cause...
it's creepy, right? It's like they have spies or something like that.
It's almost like Zack Snyder just splits himself into two and is the Russo brothers.
Disguises himself.
He just has a mirror next to him at all times.
Joe Russo, you look kind of buff, man.
He's been working out.
Yeah, bro.
That's why it's the ultimate disguise. Obviously, Joe Russo's a bit of a bigger bloke. But...
He's a hefty man, you know. He's jolly.
It always makes me laugh that whenever there's an interview with those two, he's the one that talks. Anthony's just kind of like, I'll just put a face. That's what I'm here for.
He's the Mark Ruffalo of the two, for sure.
Yeah.
No, who's to say Joe isn't like a puppet either?
That's very true. Very true. He is the Vision. No, that's what he is. Who knows? Who knows what those two do? Are they human? We don't know. Right.
Yeah, I mean, they might be Skrulls, as far as I know. Yeah.
Give me the Skull Kill Crew on Hulu. No,
yes.
Perfect show.
Definitely won't bring that up. Well, aren't they putting on a limited series for Skrulls soon? I don't know.
There is a series going on right now called Meet the Skrulls.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome to see. Show.
I mean, why not? You know, have it as Talos or Talos, however they want to pronounce it.
I mean, it could play off as a comedy for
Exactly, and then just suddenly have genocide, and then they all become villains and Secret Invasion stars. Boom, done.
And as long as the end of the series turns them into cows, I'm good, man.
Oh, absolutely. Give me my cow scrub. With Reed Richards just slowly pushing him into a slaughterhouse.
And that's how we get the Skull Kill Crew. It writes itself. But so are you looking forward to the Spirits of Vengeance?
Oh, absolutely. The one side that Marvel's been lacking. To be fair, I say lacking. They haven't got to yet proper is the mystical magical side. We've only really got Doctor Strange. You've had Ghost Rider for a half a season, give or take, whatever it was. So it's about time they've kind of delved into that more. You know, stuff like Blade, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night, and all that stuff. There's so many werewolves in Marvel, like Dracula. You know, bring him in as well. It's just so much they haven't touched on yet, and it's let's just get into that now.
It's like a treasure chest of opportunity. It's
a literal Pandora's box, and no doubt Pandora's box will play some kind of role somewhere down the line.
Who knows? I mean, Lilith might show up, and
mad about it.
But I know that they are gonna use Johnny Blaze in some capacity. So
that doesn't you can't not use Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
Yes, people Robbie's not the biggest Ghost Rider. People kind of rejected him from the get go because he has a car. And it's you can go for car rides, guys.
Well, I mean, if we've learned anything from the Nicolas Cage movies, that anything can be turned into a help.
Yeah, that's true. But, it's people so adamant with Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch. Like it's
I mean,
nuts how people go out for those two.
I love. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I love the Robbie Reyes character.
Same.
In both mediums.
I was never a Ghost Rider guy until Robbie Reyes came on because he looked different.
Yeah.
And then B, it's kind of like he's a Ghost Rider, but he's really kind of not.
Yeah.
You know, he's also got his brother, and this car, and like his powers are changing. It's just like,
well, I think the greatest visual for me was the car. I was just like,
yeah,
wow, that's so awesome.
It helps that it's a really cool car. Like, the 69 Charge, it's such a cool car.
That's the car I'm going to be buried in, by the way. It's like a nice church.
Man, that's an expensive car as well.
I had a Roadrunner, which is like a generic version of a Charger when I was a younger lad, and I fell in love with that car. And then like seeing the car on the show and the comics first, and then the show, I was like, I love this.
So you got to get the old like air intake on top as well. You got to go with that.
But
Supercharged the hell.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, like any character in that genre is on the table. Yeah. I mean, Blade's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's just a matter.
And like, and I know I heard Wesley Snipes is involved in some shape, like with.
But who's the guy that always works with Blade? Is it Whistler?
Whistler, yeah.
Yeah, like you just make Blaze Whistler.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna be like as much as like an on screen.
Yeah.
From what I heard he's definitely, but like that's what I heard from somebody. But like he is,
I mean, it's cool that if he does end up being involved, like it's cool that he's actually there to like kind of lead it. Because I don't know how those movies have got a cult following that they do. Like they're fine, but like they're very products of the time.
Yeah, it's very rabid fan base too.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, Blade 1 does have one of the best intros like of any movie ever.
Oh yeah,
like that Blood Rave is like iconic. But
no, yeah, I mean, when you talk about Blade, you just think. You picture that, you don't really.
Yeah, that's true. And to be fair, you picture like it is Wesley Snipes. Like he's kind of one of those roles. It's a shame that it had to happen then, and it wasn't like now, because that would.
Yeah. Perfect. I'm as long as they put Blade in like those mutton chops and the like the Bill Bomb, like that old character design. I'm okay with that too, or at least nod to it. At least just have it in a drawer somewhere. Like, but like.
I can see like
there's a resurgence in the character. Yeah, well, like there's a resurgence in the character. So
and you can always tell because the comics always start pushing things, and it's like, oh look, Blade's an Avenger now. Robbie Reyes is an Avenger now.
Wonder who's next on in the TV things.
I'm trying to think, what are they doing next in Avengers?
I know it's like is it the War of Kings or something like that? The War of Realms?
Oh no, War of the Realms is happening right now, yeah. Which I mean, I think that's already going to be I think that's already getting made into a cartoon because they're keeping an eye on it, which was
that would be awesome.
But I think they might be doing a Ghost Rider story arc next, which kind of makes sense because Robbie is coming in there. Oh, it is Ghost Rider. Thank you, chat. So yeah, no. Which makes sense, Robbie's getting the show. So
yeah, it's all reciprocal, man. I mean, but I'm glad that they got Gabriel Luna back.
Stay admittedly, at first he was a little too old for me. It's like, Robbie's he's a little kid. He's got his younger brother, and it's just like Gabriel Luna is like in his 30s, going on 40s, and it's like, you know what? He did a good job. He played Robbie right. Like it's just fun.
I never had a problem with the way he portrayed the character.
Yeah. It was just a bit of a shock, like just think of this kid now, like you get this like grown man. It's like, oh, okay. It felt a bit like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man again, but it worked this time.
Without the creepy run, though.
Oh, without the creepy run, yeah. Just give Robbie his mask, like that's all I want. That's the one thing I changed. Just put him in the proper skull.
It's cool, yeah. Like I mean, like I said, there's gonna be some aesthetic changes to the character.
Yeah,
you just gotta I don't know. I think it worked for what it was, but I think you gotta definitely go for the classic iconic.
Yeah, especially if there's the plans to use Johnny Blaze. Like, let's make them look different.
Yeah, distinguished for sure. Like you can't. Like the only thing that distinguishes them from each other is the jacket.
And even then, like Ghost Rider has the same jacket. Or at least like Johnny Blaze started off with like the black jacket with the white like half a rectangle thing.
Oh, you mean the spikes and stuff like that, like the '90s spike?
Yeah, it's very much like a defining trait of a Ghost Rider, along with a chain, like a chain as well.
I'll let you know, but like I hope the guy that they ever use, Danny Kent, that they pull that ninja motorcycle out and just that I want to see that in some way.
Which one was the stunt guy? Was it Ketch or Blaze?
Blaze was the circus stunt guy.
Kent, I was gonna say like just like to be fair, you can just like take the whole stunt guy thing and put it for Ketch. Like who cares?
Yeah, I mean, like who's to say that they don't like kind of just because like when you look at it, Danny Kent was just kind of wasn't really important. I don't think.
No.
And you could just kind of merge the two, like Blaze and him.
I say Danny Ketch was literally just like we want to do Johnny Blaze again, but we kind of can't, so let's just make someone else.
Yeah,
it's virtually identical anyway. No, the only reason they're indistinguishable now is because Danny Ketch has got blue flames.
Yeah. Well,
that's right. Ketch is a mechanic. Yeah. I suppose they literally just took Danny Ketch and gave it to Robbie. So Ghost Riders are the same. That's the story. That's the message of the story.
Carbon copies of each other. Just skulls with fire.
Yeah.
So. But I'd say keep your eye out for more coming. Sooner than later.
Do you know the time frame for this show? Like when. I assume 2020.
2020, yeah. I don't think they have a set like specific date for the show. I think because it just got announced and I didn't even know about it until like a month ago.
Oh really? Wow.
That at least there was talk of it, and then like it was officially said in like a month after I heard the original. Yeah, it was weird. But like I think
it just kind of happened.
I got in the email chain.
So what you got to do is just be like, just copy me in. Like,
that's how they work.
Just copy me in.
I'll just CC you and
do it.
Like if you see a bunch of Marvel people that you don't know, like one recognizable name.
It's like why are there so many names in this email?
What the shit?
But the one you have to get in is New Warriors.
Yeah, man, that's
because that's such an anomaly. It's just like, we filmed a pilot.
You're gonna see it. Like the show is gonna be seen for sure by the public. It's just I don't know what's going on with that. Like that's the one thing that I'm not really up on because like
is anyone at this point?
Yeah, well, I mean, like there hasn't been any talk. The last time I heard anything in any type of capacity was like a mere mention in like a production meeting about we have to get the show out, we just don't know when. That's exact wording. I'm like, why did you even mention it if you have nothing concrete, But like it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen more when D+ hits. I think it's gonna be a show. Yeah. They're not gonna put it on any other because like no other network wanted it. So this is the perfect place to have like, hey, you want to see that new Warriors show that we've been talking about it for years.
Which, to be fair, at this point, there's been no word. You can just mark it as a new show. Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, and I think I don't know. I think they have plans for certain characters in that show.
Yeah.
So,
to be fair, I imagine Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, I mean that's one of them for sure because it's more of a recognizable character. But then there's a couple other characters that are like been talked about for doing something else.
This is like Speedball.
Speedball, yeah.
Because there's been talks of Speedball for years. Like, he's going to be on Shield. He's going to be here. He's going to do this. And it's like, Speedball's never going to appear apparently.
But I heard Night Thrasher's name being mentioned a couple times on the show, like on something. And it's just like things kind of changed on the fly. Like as soon as the show wasn't bought by anybody, they're like, well,
Speaking of shows that weren't bought, give me Most Wanted. Bring back Bobby and Hunt.
Yeah, I mean, who's to say it won't happen, man?
I miss Bobby.
I mean, right now, I think And I mean, the actors are under. I don't know about the guy who plays Hunter.
I think. Well, Pilecki's doing the Orville, isn't she? So she can't.
Yeah, but like at this point, I don't think he's. Yeah, I mean, like if you told me that there's a D+ show that wants to be put together,
yeah.
I think
sorry, Seth MacFarlane, bye.
I have to cancel this birthday party I have to do. I'm going to work.
You can kill me off the show now. Bye.
Bye. I commit suicide. But I don't have a kid. But like, yeah, I mean, Most Wanted. I mean, it could happen. I mean, especially if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't go past a certain number of seasons. I think that's another good way to kind of spin it off and say, hey, here's some more of the characters you know.
We're just going to be like a Secret Warriors show and actually do Secret Warriors.
I mean,
not blue ball me like S.H.I.E.L.D. did, because ouch.
Secret Warriors and only name, man. That was kind of a disappointment.
It's like they did, like, the season was fine. It was just like, I kind of wanted like the Secret Warriors. I got two of them, I suppose.
Well, I think the characters deserve more than just that. That very minuscule season, and it really I think was that the least successful season. I can't remember if that was like one of the seasons that were just kind of like ratings dump.
I can't remember, to be honest. I think it might have been the one before where like Disney mandated it came back, but I couldn't tell you with any facts on that one.
Well, I think if they did something like that, I think they had to get Samuel L. Jackson involved in some way.
Oh, definitely. You can't do Secret Warriors without like Fury and Daisy. Like those two are like peas in the pod.
And like, I mean, right now it's kind of weird because like, do they know each other?
I don't think so. I think the only one that's met Fury on the show is Coulson.
Coulson, yeah. I mean, it would be weird. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could work it. But like, to me, it would be kind of weird, like just saying, "Hey, you want to be a part of my team?" I don't know you very well, but Coulson spoke very highly of you.
That's just Fury in general, isn't it? Really, that's how he operates.
True.
So, hey, Tony Stark, you're on my team now.
I don't know who you are.
Who are you?
But I'll trust you with my life anytime.
Yeah. I mean, who trust Sam Jackson with their life? Like, look at him now.
Guys, I mean, he's definitely not Lawrence Fishburne, that's for sure.
True.
Yeah.
True, that could be what the Fury show's about. Just have Nick Fury assembling all his different teams, because why not?
Yeah. Do you think, I mean, we know he's alive.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
But is he alive? It's Nick Fury. Who knows?
Do you think he's going to be in the Black Widow movie?
I'd be surprised if he's not.
I'm like, can they?
It depends what they do with that movie, I suppose. Actually.
Yeah, I mean, but like, even if they did a prequel, wasn't it Fury that kind of brought her into S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah.
Or was it Hawkeye? I forget. I think it was Hawkeye.
I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to actually wrap the show up here, and then we're going to talk about Hawkeye. So thanks everyone for watching.
Sorry.
We will catch you all next week. So bye.
Later.